Hello, I hope this video finds you well and hope you're getting ready for a good New Year's. First things first, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's sort of watched the first two videos that I've put out this year. I had a lot of fun making them, but I was always kind of nervous about how they go down. So yeah, to see how everyone's reacted to them has been absolutely fantastic, so you're all the best. Love ya. There is another video essay coming out, not a Super Mario Nation one, but it is on sort of TV sci-fi. But that requires a bit more research, i.e. I've got a lot more TV to watch. So whilst I'm in the middle of that one, I thought I'd try something a bit different as a little treat. I've been getting back into using my camera a fair bit this year, which is ultimately the thing that sort of led me to start putting videos up online. And I've mentioned on the channel before that I'm a bit of a train nerd, but I haven't had the opportunity to visit a load of steam railways in the past couple of years. I decided to kill two birds with one stone and made a bit of an effort to sort of visit a few places where time and money allowed and get some practice getting back into the swing of using a camera. So that's basically this video, just sort of showing you what I did, where I went and what I filmed. Just one quick thing to sort of bear in mind before we begin, although I did try to upgrade my skills and my equipment as the year went on, I am not a professional cinematographer, can you tell? So just bear that one in mind. Right, enough chat, onto the trains. First trip of the year was to the West Somerset Railway. I didn't bring a tripod on this day and I quickly learnt my lesson. I have a friend who was based up this way for a while, so I've visited a few of the stations but not done a full day on the railway before. This was the only gala I did this year and was also my first gala at all. As you can see, it was kinda chocker. Most of my other trips were on normal operating days. This did allow me to see some engines I'd be unlikely to see otherwise, such as the B1 Mayflower and the coal tank. It took me a while to get an okay shot of her departing. This happened on the first time. I am not smart. Jessie was a fun one to see, as was 9466. I'm a big GWR nut, this is going to be a theme. Of particular interest was 9351, which was originally converted from a tank engine. I spent some time at Williton having a look around the restoration projects. I was unlucky with the weather on most of my trips, with a couple of exceptions. It did start raining, as you can probably tell, hence bravely taking this shot of Witherslack Hall from the relative dryness of the footbridge. As it eased off, I spent about an hour at Stowgumber Station, having a look around and getting the chance to take a slightly more dynamic shot of Witherslack Hall. Stuck around to the last train, which allowed me to get another shot of Mayflower, and Odney Manor bringing the day to an end. Another first for me, my first go at capturing a steam rail tour passing by. I was lucky to find this spot where I could get a good angle. Clun Castle was hauling this one. She had stalled earlier on, losing half an hour, but by the time she passed me, she'd reduced the delay to about 10 minutes. I think she made it all up by journey's end. It's one thing to see a steam engine working on a heritage line, but a castle working hard doing the job it was designed for is something else. This was a return visit for me. I previously visited here with my family as a teenager on a long trip back from a wedding. This time I was able to fully engage my inner nerd, which included seeing Tiny, an original South Devon Railway locomotive and the only original surviving broad gauge locomotive in the world, I believe. I also took time to see the locomotives on display by the sheds, all awaiting their turn through the workshops. 5526 was the engine of the day, one of the 4575 class, which I've always had a soft spot for. I also got the chance to see some shunting operations at Buckfastleigh with both 5526 and the resident Class 09, a slightly higher gear version of the ubiquitous Class 08. As the weather brightened in the afternoon, I spent some time at Staverton Station, soaking in the atmosphere and trying my best not to spend too much on railway books. I failed on that one. Having thought seeing Mayflower at the West Somerset Railway would be a unique event for me earlier in the year, it was surprising to learn that she'd be coming my way again. This obviously meant that I'd have to catch her as she passed. The LNER isn't my area of expertise, but I must admit the B1s are impressive engines. Although the A4s are renowned within railway circles, with Mallard holding the world speed record for steam traction. I couldn't pass up the chance to see one passing my way, and caught Sir Nigel Gresley restarting the Up English Riviera Express. I did pay for this one. It pelted down beforehand, only easing just before the train passed. You can spot how wet it wasn't under the bridge compared to just outside. This was another return trip for me. I'd visited the Didcot Railway Centre before as a kid, but hadn't had a chance to explore all the centre has to offer, such as a section of Brunel's atmospheric railway, or peeking inside the workshops where I caught a glimpse of Newbill, County of Glamorgan. I also poked my head round the door of where the rail motor was being kept, but I didn't end up wandering in. Trojan was the engine on the shorter demonstration line, and she's an engine with a lot of character. The broad gauge engines here, Firefly and Iron Duke, are both replicas. Sadly neither are running at the moment, but you never know. There's a lot to see here for fans of the Great Western, and I had a lovely day just wandering about in the best weather I had on a filming day. Seeing one of the rail cars was really cool. I'd love to go back and see this running one day. The real star of the day for me though was seeing Pendennis Castle. She's a very interesting engine, and I'd love to make a video about her one day. She's the oldest operational castle, but the centre also has an example of the 5013 subclass in Dressluwen Castle, as well as a host of other engines in the shed. Some notable examples include 5322 in Railway Operating Division livery, King Class King Edward II, Cardiff Dock Shunter 1338, and Wantage Tramway No. 5 Shannon, which is thus far the only locomotive I've seen that's got curtains. The South Devon Railway is the closest railway to me, so it's perhaps natural that I'd visit more than once. The visit was for two reasons. Firstly, at this point I'd upgraded my camera's mic, so this was its trial by fire. Second, I was visiting on the expectation of 6412 being in service, but ended up finding 1369 at the head of the train, which, even better. I'd done the West Somerset Railway at the start of the year, now to the east. Engine of the day was 4110. Speaking of the West Somerset, this is the same kind of engine that was converted into 9351. The artist David Shepherd was involved in setting up the reserve line, and there's a lovely display of his artwork in a coach by Cranmore Station. The new thing I tried on this visit was panning the shot with the camera, which worked better sometimes than others. The tripod is definitely the next thing to be upgraded when I have the money spare. After visiting the shed to take a shot of their LMS Standard 2, I got a chance to drive a steam engine, as did many other people, specifically this one, Lady Nan. True, it was only forwards and backwards over a very short section of line, but it still counts. Plus, both myself and the engine were in one piece afterwards, so bonus. The final railway I visited this year was the Watercress line. I saw the tank version of the Standard 2 early on before seeing the train engine S15 506. I didn't realise any S15s were preserved, but apparently the Mid-Hants has 3 of them, so that shows you how much I know. They also have this engine, which reminds me of someone. This was undoubtedly the worst weather I encountered, as you can quite clearly see here. Operating a steam engine is a difficult job at the best of times, even more so in conditions like this. It makes you all the more grateful for the efforts of volunteers that do so day in, day out. Believe it or not, there was a brief sunny spell which meant I could get some shots of their Class 08 D3462. The final steam footage I got this year was Clan Line passing by with the Atlantic Coast Express, although I'll admit I nearly missed it. As a little bit of symmetry, this was also the day I filmed the on-camera segments of the first video I put up, the Thunderbirds video. And that was my 2024, at least in regards to trains. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know. I might do something similar in future. And if you didn't, then I probably still will, to be honest, because this is my channel. I can put up whatever I want to, and this is something I like. Keep your eyes peeled for the next video essay. All being well, that should be out sometime around the end of January. Thanks again for watching not only this one, but everything else that I've posted throughout the year. We'll see you in the next one, and I hope you all have a fantastic New Year's.